Okay, we're recording. I got a webcam now. I got the mic. I got a blanket on me, and today we're reacting to Derek Carr signing with the Saints. It is not a big surprise. I expected him to go to the Jets or the Saints, but I mean, I feel like the Saints would be okay, I guess. Not the best. I think you should have went to the Jets. I think he would have been better there. You got some young talent, a good defense. Not saying the Saints don't have a good defense, but the Jets, you have a very like division. At the Saints, you don't have a very good division. So let's see what they talk about. Okay, why is it not working? Okay, there we go.
I'm Will Selva with breaking news, and the first free agent quarterback domino appears to be poised to fall for the latest out of New Orleans. We bring in our NFL Network insiders, Mike Garafolo and Tom Pelissero. And Mike G, I'll start with you. Who are the Saints zeroing in on?
I'll make sure I get this one right after screwing up the tweet. Will Silva.
Let's do it.
It is
Come on,
Derek Carr.
Yes.
It is not
there we
our
go.
colleague David Carr. It is Derek Carr, free agent quarterback.
Yes.
After 9 seasons with the Las Vegas Raiders, he was released recently, and he is expected to sign with the New Orleans Saints. They are closing in on a deal. Sources tell me and Ian Rappaport on this one. And look, the Saints were the team that Carr met with before he was released by the Raiders. They were willing to meet Las Vegas on trade compensation. But Carr said, you know what? You're not giving me the permission to talk to anybody else, so I'm just going to wait for my release. He did. That afforded him the chance to hit free agency before other free agents become available next week. It also...
Wait, they didn't allow him to talk to anybody else? Like, they only allowed him to talk. That's just kind of fucked up. But I guess I understand. Maybe they have something the Raiders want. But you don't have a franchise unless you're getting something in the draft trying to trade up with the Bears. That doesn't make any sense, though. Why? I don't know. What is Devontae Adams going to do? Are the Raiders going to go out and grab Aaron Rodgers now? Or is Jordan Love going to start? I don't know. I'm scared, though.
Afforded him the time to take his time throughout this entire process. He did just that. He met with 3 teams in Indianapolis last week: the Saints, the Jets, and the Carolina Panthers. And we said all along, despite the fact that he didn't accept that trade at the time, don't discount the Saints' chances. They are very much in this. They had a great visit. They play in a dome stadium, which is a quarterback loves, number one. Number two, it's a division without any other settled quarterback positions and a lot of teams in flux. So there's the chance for the Saints to compete, certainly with an established quarterback right there. And it's also the NFC as well. We talk.
Dude, he is looking at you with death eyes. Like he is just not having it with the Raiders. Was it that bad there? Was it actually not that good there? He looks like he is pissed though. Damn. Good to get out of there though. I'm kind of happy for him.
About the AFC being loaded, the path to the Super Bowl still seems a little bit easier in the NFC, especially when you look at the quarterbacks they've got over there in the AFC. So, Tom, Derek Carr closing in on a deal with the New Orleans Saints could get done officially very shortly.
Mike, let's be very clear. Despite some speculation to the contrary, the Saints were always the preferred destination for Derek Carr, even though, as you alluded to, when he took that initial free agent visit or trade visit to New Orleans at a time that the Saints and the Raiders had agreed to a framework of a trade, it made sense always that this would ultimately be where he was going to land. He's back with his original head coach, Dennis Allen, who was part of drafting Derek Carr back in 2014. Carr is still somehow only 31 years old. He's obviously been a productive player through the course of his career. The hurdle for Carr has been getting into the playoffs and then winning playoff games. Well, in New Orleans, as you mentioned, Mike, he joins a team that very much continues to compete for the now. And the Saints have been going through their annual exercise of restructuring practically every contract on their roster to get into salary cap compliance and clear cap space. They're using some of it here on Derek Carr. We'll get the numbers, I'm sure, relatively shortly, but anticipate this is going to be a pretty strong deal for the rare quarterback who becomes available prior to the start of free agency. Jameis Winston is technically still under contract for another year. Does not seem like he's got a future in New Orleans. Andy Dalton is a free agent.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like, Andy Dalton's older, so he's probably gonna retire in about a year or two, or just get cut and be a free agent for the rest of his career. I don't see Andy Dalton going to really anywhere. Jameis Winston still, I think he still has some in the tank that he can like do. Or maybe the Saints will keep Andy Dalton and then keep Andy Dalton as a backup for Derek Carr and then get rid of Jameis Winston. But I don't really know where he'd go. I love J-Bo. He does some wild shit. It's pretty funny. Okay.
This is very much Derek Carr's team, and it is a veteran team that Dennis Allen, Mickey Loomis and company believes can bounce back and win in 2023.
Gentlemen, there were reports that Carr was seeking $35 million a year. How did this reported price tag have an effect on his market, if at all, Mike?
Well, the Saints didn't seem like they balked at anything. And listen, the Jets were in this as well. And the Jets loved their meeting with Derek Carr. And from what I gather, were interested in having the negotiations with him at a fairly good number. And so they were in this certainly as well. We'll see what the final number winds up coming in at. I'm getting a call right now. So, Tom, you can take it from here maybe. But yeah, it's Derek Carr is going to make some money here. I'll tell you that much.
And let's be abundantly clear for anyone who got the Twitter alert from Mike's initial tweet. No, the Saints are not closing in on a deal with David Carr, our colleague who's been out of the NFL for close to a decade.
Did I say that again?
It is Derek Carr, the former Raiders quarterback who is going to the Saints. I thought you were on the phone. I was just going to once again clarify here for everyone watching. Derek Carr, not David or their other brother Darren, who's also had some fun with Mike on Twitter. It is Derek Carr, set to become quarterback for the New Orleans Saints.
Either way, I would think that David Carr would certainly have a robust market, guys, just in my opinion. Either way, as always, NFL Network insiders, Mike Garafolo and Tom Pelissero, thank you very much, gentlemen. Much more on NFL Now at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure to check that Twitter handle.
Okay, I mean, that kind of sums it up. So, have a good night, everyone. Like and subscribe. Peace out.